Thank you so much for joining us for the 24th Annual Garden State Film Festival. This year we have over 200 films and film-centered events from various countries, all happening across 9 venues from March 26th to the 29th this year. Joining me today is director-writer Jamie Schwartz of the short The Sandwich Line. Jamie, thank you so much for joining me today, and congratulations on your short making it into the Garden State Film Festival.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
Of course. Why don't you tell our live audience a little bit about your short film?
Yeah, so The Sandwich Line is a magical surrealism rom-com short film about a girl who can't get a date and then finds a sandwich line where every time she buys a sandwich, she gets asked out in real life, something we all hope for. But yeah.
No, that's awesome. What inspired the writing for this short film?
Yeah, it was originally a feature. Oh, my table just moved. It was originally a feature, and then I had a friend who, was in the food scene, was like wanted to get into
Mhm.
producing, and so we ended up making a short film. But it was inspired because I had actually just moved back to New York. I am from the East Coast. I'm from New Jersey, actually. I'm from yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm very excited to be here. And I was living in LA for a little bit and I moved back to New York, and it was post-pandemic, and I was out of a relationship and was dating again here in New York, and just found it to be, horrendous and
Yeah.
terrible, and,
Yep.
lower than hell. So, and I think one day I was in the Whole Foods sandwich line. They have a really great sandwich bar, shout out. And a guy asked me out in real life. And I was like, oh my God, this is where it happens in the Whole Foods. Like, oh my God, Joey from Friends loves sandwiches. This is where it happens. Boys like sandwiches.
Yeah.
Um, that didn't end up going anywhere, but I ended up calling my friend afterwards, and I was like, oh my God. And that's how like the idea started. And
That's awesome.
yeah, but I think what people have been saying to me, which has been really, really nice, like I think the film kind of gets at this other thing, which I think a lot of women in their late 20s, early 30s kind of come to, which is like, you actually sometimes have to just take a moment and be independent with yourself and like sit with yourself for a while instead of like looking for things elsewhere. So I think hopefully that's what people take away from this.
No, I think that's an amazing message. I'm personally 29 years old, and I think that, you know, it it has come to me that when I have become comfortable alone,
Is one
I
thing.
know I don't just date to find someone. I date so that you contribute. You do not take away
You add
from my
value
peace.
to my already awesome
I
existence.
am I am at peace in my life. So if you're gonna take away from my peace, I'm not gonna make
You're
a
not
space.
going to. You're not going to take away from my peace.
Exactly. So I think it's an amazing message I mean, it's such a fun message, like getting asked out of the sandwich line, but I think it's such an amazing message too. Like, be at peace with yourself, and the right person will definitely come along. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
totally. It's also like, how do you find the right person unless you know yourself more? And I think you can only really know yourself when you're by yourself a little bit. I also think, the movie ends up being an allegory for dating apps and like the tiresome
Mhm.
nature of, that. So I
Yeah.
think that also is kind of where we're at in
Mhm.
post-COVID 2025, 2026 society. So
Yeah, absolutely. So what was this filming process like for you?
really stressful. I'm an actor first and foremost. I started writing second, and then directing was just something I've always wanted to do, so I decided to do it for this one. But I've never done all three at the same time, so
Mhm.
this is my first time doing that, and that was really, I kind of was like, oh, I'll be fine, and it was, but it was also like, mentally insanity.
Mhm.
But it was really a really great learning experience. But yeah, doing all three was kind of a really crazy thing for me to just
Mhm.
decide to like jump in and do and if you watch the film, like I'm in every single
Yeah.
shot. So
Yeah.
it's like a little crazy.
So, I mean, where is it that you found, the rest of your crew?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, so Jeremy, who's my producer, was really amazing. Again, he's in the food scene, and so we
Mhm.
got a lot of our locations for free. We got our food and catering for free, which is, I think,
Nice.
a huge,
Yeah.
huge, huge. And
Huge
my producers,
expense.
also Talia and Christina, were incredible, just like so on
Mhm.
it. They're powerhouses. And you know, they just are in the indie Brooklyn scene. So they just like had a bunch of people that they knew, which was amazing. And then my DP Terrence, I worked on a movie with him as an actor, and me and him just vibed. And I was just like, hey, if I ever want to make anything, and he loves helping first time filmmakers.
Yeah.
And so he really is just really run and gun and was like, yes, let me know. And so he came in and did this, which I really just, I think it looks beautiful. I think that's all credit to him. And yeah, and then, you know, we found a supermarket that was like, you can shoot overnight for free.
Okay.
Yeah, so all the
Okay.
supermarkets are like from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Mhm.
And it was a crazy, it also is like an underground supermarket. It was Jubilee Marketplace in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. And so it's like underground, and, you know, it's all the refrigeration. So it's like, it's kind of like, I felt like Vegas a little bit, where they pump a lot of oxygen to keep you all awake, but you also have like no idea what time it is. And everyone's kind of like a little bit and so it was kind of really fun to just be down there, you know, and then like, yeah, just like running around being crazy. But it was exhausting because, again, I was like acting from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then I was also directing 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm sorry, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And then also doing script edits and everything like on the fly there. And I had an amazing script coordinator as well, script supervisor, who kept everything, who like was my second brain, who just was like, hey, Justine, like, let's think about this. And I think that was really helpful as someone who's doing a lot of different hats, to have someone else look out for those little details that would really mess me up in the edit later on. She really saved me a bunch of times. So yeah, but it was really fun, really chaotic and crazy. And I said I'll never do it again, but I already want to do it again.
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's how it goes, right? You're like, it'll never happen again, and then it definitely does. And that's in just so many different things in life.
Yeah.
What would you say was your favorite part of this whole process, and what was perhaps the most challenging part of this whole process?
I would say the most challenging part was definitely the overnight shoot in the grocery store, and also I think casting. Just because I've never been on that other side. Like, I'm an actor. I'm usually the one like
Yeah.
being cast. So it's like I've never had to like do that whole thing. And I think I learned so much about the process, and um, you know, how it's not about so many things I think you as an actor think it's
Right.
about. Um, and that was challenging. And then the most favorite part, I honestly think the filming was really, it was crazy, but it was really fun. I also, you know, again, as a director, I'd never done pre-production and post-production. I've never done something the entire way through. As an actor, you kind of come in and do your thing and leave, and then like they let you know when it's all done.
Right.
And as a writer too, like, you know, you're just kind of focused on this thing, but you're not kind of bringing something from start to finish. And I think that's something I really learned with directing, the pre-production, post-production process of it all, and really how long it takes. And I think that was really challenging for me, because I like working on a bunch of different things at once. And directing this made me realize, oh, like if you want to direct a project, that's kind of your thing you're doing for a very extended amount of
Yeah.
time. And if you're like, you know, really skilled, maybe you can do multitask a little bit. But I'm someone who likes to multitask and do a lot of stuff at once, work on a lot of things at once. And so
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I have to like focus. And so that was kind of a challenging thing. But my favorite thing was really, I think, shooting. I think filming was really fun. It's my favorite place to be. I think on set is so fun. And as a director, and getting to set the vibe as like not only the number one, but also as the director, was
Right.
something that I really was excited to do. And, you know, I got a lot of feedback from my casting crew that I made it a really fun set. Like, we'd play music in between setups and like dance and
Yeah.
joke around, and I made it really fun and lively. And um, I think you can maybe feel that in the film, where everyone feels like they're having a good time and like playing around. And I
Right.
think that's really important. So yeah.
I think you can always tell when something's going on behind the scenes that's negative when you're watching a piece,
Yeah.
because you'll be watching something, you might hear about it later and be like, that makes sense. It's just something you can feel. So
1000%. You can feel like the lack of cohesion, if that makes sense, of like,
exactly.
the energy of the people. And I think that's something that, even with like a film that you're like, oh, maybe the writing wasn't great, the acting was great, you can feel that like there's a joy with the people that is
Yeah.
coming through. And then you can see something that's incredible, and you can feel when like they're not having the best time.
Yeah. Absolutely. Or when they're just putting on face. I mean,
Yeah,
like, yeah,
there's a
they're
difference
acting,
between like,
but
yeah,
yeah.
There's a
Like,
difference between also like hardships on set, as in like you're in cold water or like rain or it's long
yeah,
nights, or whatever, and like bad energy on set where people hate other people.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah.
Well, so I mean, what would you say? Because this was a directorial piece for you as amongst the many hats that you wore. What inspired you film wise, or is there a director that you saw that you were like, that's kind of the style I want to bring into the sandwich line?
For Sandwich Line, I definitely, there's a movie called Someone Great on Netflix.
Yeah.
Kate and oh my God, I'm like gonna lose her name right now. But Kate and she also did uh Do Revenge, and she also did the I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Okay.
And
Hmm.
Someone Great is a movie. Do you know the lore behind Someone Great?
I do not.
It's kind of crazy, actually. Someone Great is a movie. You should watch it. It's really beautiful. It's like a movie
Okay.
that makes me cry.
Okay.
Um, but she wrote it based on a Taylor Swift song called Clean. Like she listened to
Oh,
Clean and she wrote
okay.
the movie. And then Taylor Swift saw Someone Great, cried, and wrote a song called Death by a Thousand Cuts based off of Someone Great that is based off of Clean. And so
That's
like there's a
awesome.
whole like Twitter RIP thing between the two of them like a few years ago where they were like where she was like, wait, what? I wrote like because Taylor Swift
Yeah.
about how it was so great. And then she's like, I wrote this because of Clean. And then Taylor Swift was like, I wrote Death by a Thousand Cuts. Oh, that's crazy. But I just think there's something like really connective about that movie. And you can also, again, that's
Yeah.
something you feel the joy of. But I just think it was a really like solid representation of, I think, girls in a time in their late 20s, early 30s in New
Yeah.
York City. And I think, yeah, so Someone Great was a big example for that. And I think I've always loved the 90s rom-coms.
Hmm.
And I like something that's like a little edgy. I like something that's like a little weird. Sandwich
Yeah.
a little weird,
Mhm.
a little surrealist, a little bit, I've loved Black Mirror. I've loved
Yeah.
Timer. I love
Mhm.
um, these kinds of movies where like the rules, it's our world, but like there's something a little different about it. And what does it
Yeah.
exemplify about our world? Um, so I'm inspired by that stuff. And I think I'm also inspired by like female films. Like I want to see real girls on
Yeah.
TV and film and, being messy and chaotic and weird. And um,
In our natural habitat. Just
yeah, honestly. So,
well, Jamie, it has been such a pleasure speaking with you today. Thank you so much. Will I be meeting you in person at the festival?
yeah. I'm going to be there. I think I'm going to either Thursday or Friday. I forget my schedule because my parents still live in New Jersey. So I'm just going to go to
Oh,
my parents'
nice.
house and then come through.
Okay.
But then I'm going to be there for Saturday, March 28th for the 3 to 5 block where Sandwich Line is
Yeah.
playing. And I'm excited to go down the shore for a little bit,
Yeah.
get a little Italian sub. Uh, and I was like thinking about maybe like stopping through like the, Stone Pony and some cool spots down there. Um, and yeah.
Okay, well, I look so forward to meeting you in person. For
Yeah.
our live viewers, The Sandwich Line will be screening on Saturday, March 28th in the ballroom of the Berkeley Continental during the block 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. We hope to see you at the Garden State Film Festival this year with over 200 films screening across 9 venues, including hosting parties, panels, events, and more. Get your tickets at gsff.org/tickets. Jamie, it was such a pleasure. I look forward to meeting you in March, and I'm so excited for your film to screen for everyone.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Bye.
Bye.